Welcome back, GRD 132 W1 to P6, where we're working on our logos for our lawn service. And what I'm going to do in this video is just demonstrate going through some ideas. So let's see what we can do here. I have this R&R, and again, I didn't plan anything out here. I'm just kind of doing this live, and I have this R&R. We talked about this logo in the previous video, and again, we want it clean and simple. So I don't know if we need a globe, I don't know if we need Broadway font, but let's do something first. Let's start something. Let's get Lawn Service Inc. in something really plain. So I'm just going to type here, Lawn Service Inc. There we go. Lawn Service Inc. Now it's in this Inter font. I don't know a whole lot about this Inter font. Let's see what they have here. They have thin. It's actually not a bad looking font, but I'm going to go in Roboto since I'm familiar with Roboto as, again, just a basic supporting font. So let's go to Roboto, and maybe I'll even do condensed because it's Lawn Service Inc. It's a little longer. And why would I use condensed? Because R&R is not very long, so I want R&R to be big. So I don't want something really long along the bottom and then R&R. I'd have to make it gigantic. So I'm going to go condensed and just leave it like that. If I want it all caps, I'll use the 3 dots, and I'll try that. Just something like that. I'll make it a little bigger so I can see. I'll use the scale tool over here and just drag on the top, and that makes it bigger proportionally. So now we have something. Lawn Service Inc. We have a base to work with. And then I'll take my text tool again, and I'll just type an R. Because I'm working with R&R, I could even do these separate. I don't have to just do R&R like that, because I might want to do different things. But let's say I do that. We'll start with that. Now, this is going to be something a little different. We want contrast here. We want this to stand out. Now, I could just make it larger. I could just go here and do that. And already, that probably looks better already. You could make the ampersand in the middle smaller. You could make it bold. You could do a lot of things here. You could just do that. But let's keep working with this. Just something like that. Now, let's try a different font rather than just doing this. Now, we could put it in bold. That would be fine. We could use a Roboto. Let's see, I'll use the move tool because you won't see the text here. I'll stay in Roboto. Let's see, I'll use Roboto, and I think they have a black. Look at that. And you can bring it closer together, bring these things a little bit closer together. I could try highlighting this and making it a little bit smaller. I'll just use the point size here. I'll go to the left of this thing here, or I could just go here and let's see, 64. That's too small. Let's try 72. Something like that. Now, in terms of color, let's just introduce a green. It's a lawn care company. Now, we could try orange, but let's just try green for now, for the whole thing. We'll go here and go down to the fill color, and let's just go in here to a green. Something like that for now. Now, we could do something where we did a line on the top and bottom, but let's make it a little more decorative. It's a little plain, so we don't want it that decorative, but let's go look. Let's go to Google Fonts. And again, I'm just trying to go through some ideas here. Did not plan anything out. And now these are all kinds of fonts here. Let's look at a serif. Let's look at just serif for now. Instead of getting into display and all that kind of stuff, let's just look at some serif fonts. Now, right off the bat, Roboto Slab is nice because they have that nice heavy font. Let's just see what that looks like. Before we do anything, we'll go here. Since we're in the Roboto family, we'll go to Roboto Slab, and that's not bad. And maybe you want to introduce that other color like they were using up here. You could even use the eyedropper and pick up that blue, something like that. You know, that's something you could start with. You could put this in a circle. Since they're doing the globe thing, we could try doing some kind of circle here. I'll hold shift when I do that. And maybe this might look better with some kind of circle. I'm not sure. Or maybe this will be blue and the stuff will be green. So let me go down here on this. Now I have kind of a mixed color here. It says click plus to replace a mixed content. So when you have mixed here, you have to hit plus. So I'll go here, and actually I'll leave it like that right now. And let me take this ellipse, if I can click on it here, and I'll use that blue color. Just an idea, just to get started here. Now, that's something. Lawn Service ink could go over the ellipse. And already, we got something going on here. It's a little too dark. We don't have contrast. It's a little hard to read. What if we scaled this down and maybe put it inside the circle? Or maybe just made it white. Let me go back here and go to my fill. And let's just make it white. Now we have something going on here. Scale it down a little bit. We're kind of using the globe thing, and we're using Lawn Service here. I mean, that's an idea. Again, it's not a great idea, but we're trying to improve on this. So that's what we're doing here. Now, whether we want this big circle here, maybe we want it smaller. Maybe it could be smaller. Maybe we could play around a little bit more with the circle and see how that works. Maybe it could be something that works on the side of it. You know, and again, I'm just trying to get you started here with some ideas in terms of what may work. Maybe R&R might look good on the same line as that. We'll kind of line it up on the bottom. Maybe this could be a little bit smaller. Maybe it doesn't have to be centered. Maybe we could just kind of put it like that. Maybe we could do something like that. Maybe this could be green. Maybe we can get out of that whole globe thing. I don't get the globe thing. Can we change color here? What is that? I guess not. It looks like a scale thing. Anyway, I'll go back to my move tool and I'll change this to green. Why green? Well, it's landscaping. Make it green. I'll do something like that. So I'll go on that and make it maybe even a little bit smaller. Nudge it over a little bit. And now it's a little hard to read. The R&R is a little hard to read, so I'll make it a little bit bigger. I'll click on the ellipse again and hold shift. And kind of center it like that. And maybe I could do something with the ampersand, but already, that's an idea. There, one idea. And you know what? You could group it, Command G, Control G. There's an idea right there. There's one idea, let it go. And forget about it. Now make a copy of it and then go work on something else. This one is, I'll just call it Idea 1. And I'll call this Idea 2. And I'll put this below it. Okay, so now we could do something different with this. We kind of worked on that. We could move it around. We could try different things. Maybe we want the circle. Maybe we don't want the circle. Let's try something different. So I'm going to double click in here, move this around. You could try a centered version. Let's take this out of here and let's get rid of this for now, or maybe just move it off to the side. Let's put this in a color. Double click in here because I'm in a group. Go in here, let's put a color on this. It's white right now. Let's try the green and let's try something different. Let's go to fonts and let's look through some fonts here. Maybe we'll find some heavy looking fonts. And actually, maybe this would be a time to look at display a little bit. We'll see what we got in display. Venus Sans. Now, it's kind of a condensed font. I don't know if I'd use that. Sigmar. I mean, just try it. Let's just see what happens if I throw this in Sigmar. Let's see, I got to go inside here. Now, if this is a problem, now I'm in this group now, ungroup it. Shift Command G or Shift Control G. That'll ungroup it and put these on their own. That way you still have a group here, but these are separate. You can move them around. Let's go over here and try, what was that, Sigmar or something? Sigmar. Okay, that's horrible. The ampersand looks terrible. We're not going to do Sigmar. And then what could you do up here? Let's type something. Let's type R&R just to see what pops up and make it big. And let's just start looking through here. Obviously, we wouldn't use Venus Sans. Look at that ampersand. That's kind of cool, that ampersand. And just start going through here a little bit. Just getting some ideas here. R&R is fairly simple. That's interesting, except I don't like anything with a lot of fine lines like that. That's interesting, except it kind of looks like a dollar sign a little bit. Although, you know, there's something interesting about it that you can kind of flip that around. Righteous. Let me just check this out. Righteous. It's kind of interesting. There's no other font, but let's make it a little bit bigger here. I'll go back to my scale tool. kind of interesting. What if we took something and we flip this around? Let me make a copy here. I'll make a copy, and this one I'll remove, and this one I'll remove. And now, what if we flip this around? Now, how do we flip it around? We could go here and flip horizontal. And now we have something like that, R&R like that. So now we have some kind of interesting like negative space here. Now, if you don't like that ampersand, maybe you could do that in a different type style. Maybe you could just use one like that, or just use a sans serif. But already we have something here that looks kind of interesting. You know, we have another idea here. I'm still not set on that ampersand, but you know, if you're not, then make a copy and go over here and try one. Double click in here, get rid of the ampersand, and try another ampersand, or just copy this, option drag, and put it in an ampersand. And now that's flipped around, but let's look for a nice ampersand. Bibis Nua is a nice ampersand. You know, now I'm just looking for an ampersand. Now obviously I'm looking for something heavy. Now I'm still in the decorative, so I don't need to be in the decorative. Let's look in something that's just sans serif and find a nice ampersand. Just something that has a nice look to it. That's a nice look. Lado. And let's just look in Lado. And it has kind of a heavy, it's an interesting ampersand. I mean, again, that's all we're trying here. Let me flip this around. Right click, flip horizontal, put it back the way it was, and I'll try that in Lado. Now normally I wouldn't say to mix a lot of fonts, but it's just an ampersand. So I'm going to go in here and I'll try Lado. And is that Lado? That's Lado. Let's see if they have something real heavy. Black. And I'll scale it down. You know, how would something like that look? It's got some interesting shapes going on in there. They could be touching. It's kind of interesting. So that's all we're doing here, is looking for something interesting. And maybe this can be in the green color, but a little lighter. Or maybe it could be a blue color. Since they were doing that blue thing, maybe I could go back and use that blue again. Since they like that blue color. Don't know if I like that. But you know, it's something. We're just kind of working it out here a little bit with this R&R thing. And again, maybe it's not the right way. Maybe we'll just do something real conservative on here. But already I have a couple ideas that already improve on that. These aren't the ones I think are really great yet, but they're getting there. And that's all you have to do, is just keep working on ideas. The more, the better. You know, it's like anything. You get 5, 6 ideas and you might get one good one. So don't worry about just focusing on one thing. You might go back and say, yeah, I like that one the best, or I want to center it, or something else. But that's how you're starting here. So even though I didn't come up with anything super great yet, I just wanted to show you how to get started on this. Just kind of work with fonts, make sure that you have something standing out, something secondary, and it's kind of consistent looking and it's clean. I don't know if I really like these yet, but they're getting there. They're starting to get there a little bit. So that's what you want. So keep working on ideas like that and keep working through it. I'm going to work through them too. So I don't want to keep doing things in front of the, you know, while I'm recording, but I'll keep working on it and show you some ideas that I come up with as I do that. And you do the same. And again, maybe you're not working on R&R. Maybe you're working on the Wells. Maybe you're working on the Johnson or the other ones that I had there. I can't even remember which ones were there, but there were a couple that needed the Joshua Tree one. The couple needed some help. So whatever one you're working on, just work on getting clean first and then build up and then think, oh, do I need a leaf or something? Maybe that's the thing to do here. Maybe this would work with a leaf and then an ampersand inside the leaf. So maybe I can go and work on some kind of leaf shape. I could find a leaf shape. I could trace it. You know, maybe it's time to bring something in there, even though they're not really using a leaf. They're using a globe. But maybe it's something where I could put a circle here and put the ampersand inside a circle. You know, keep combining ideas and kind of building on them, but only do them as an accent, as you need. So maybe, you know, as I look at these, I think, what do I need here? It's a little busy in here. It's a little busy in here. Maybe a circle in here would be nice. And I could put the ampersand in a circle. I mean, that's what I'm thinking about. So again, simple, clean, take down the colors, take down the fonts, make sure your descriptive font is nice and plain down here, the Lawn Service ink. Maybe it could be bolder, even more condensed, but anything like that. See, that's where we're going. So I just wanted to get you started here. Okay, and here's a quick update. I took this idea here, which I felt was a little busy in here with this ampersand, and went back to the ellipse or the circle here and used kind of a globe shape and put the ampersand inside it. And it's not bad. It's still getting there. It's still a work in progress, I guess I should say. It's still another revision of this. I don't think it's where it needs to be yet, and I can still develop this logo a little bit more, but I think it's kind of a progress. It's getting a little bit better. Still not sure about that. Using it at the bottom so it's open. I kind of opened it up at the bottom using white, and it's getting there. It's not quite right. This thing I made a little bolder, this Lawn Service made a little bolder, and actually for color I tried orange, and then instead of a light orange I kind of darkened it a little, and that's okay because it has kind of an earth color. We have earth, we have grass and plants, and we have water, so it has all the colors that they were kind of using on their original here, except making it look more like a custom logo. Still has some work to go, but I just wanted to give you my update on it.